Hey guys, we're going to talk a little bit about posture and a little bit about weight distribution. I've had a few questions. I can't go into super detail. I believe a lot of these things that you have to discover them for yourself because, like I've said in the past, we're all different. We're all built differently. Um, so you have to take all those things into consideration. And when it comes to posture, there's a lot of different ways of doing it and a lot of different theories on that. Just through my personal experience, when I started thinking about posture in the golf swing and balance and weight distribution, things like that, I had to think about how I'm built as an individual. I had to think about comfort level. Okay, I come from a background, I worked as a paramedic for 28 years, and I've had some issues with my back because it's a very demanding job when it comes to lifting and doing things like that. So I've had to adapt a few things to my golf swing, and there's going to be a lot of other people that are in that same boat. So whenever you're developing your posture and stuff in your golf swing, you have to keep that in mind. So for me, I stand a little bit taller to the golf ball. I'm extremely comfortable. I just have a little bit of bend in my golf swing. If I take a club, I'm just bending from the hips and I'm in that position right there, and I can swing it on that plane. I don't have to think about shoulder turn and a lot of things that a lot of people talk about in the golf swing because I just simply turn to the camera and back through. Okay, my shoulders work on that plane that I swing on by doing that. I don't have to think about that. Standing a little bit taller to the ball, if somebody walked behind me and give me a little push, if I fell over that away, that would not be a good thing. I do that with every person that I work with in their golf swing. Or if you push somebody right there in the chest when they sit up and they fall backwards. So I think it's important to develop a good base, good structure, because you're swinging from that structure that is underneath you. So take that in consideration when you're working on your posture in the golf swing. I don't like to see guys that are real bent over like this. Now you can certainly find a way to stay in balance, and we've seen some good players that do this. But one of the things I notice, my swing is more rotary, and when the club starts coming from the inside to hit the ball, I feel like I'm going that way. Matter of fact, I actually feel that way when I set up. I feel like there's just too much weight going in that direction. And balance and things like that, your body is going to tell you. Your mind is going to tell you. All the things that go on inside your inner ear, it's going to tell you that doesn't feel right. So if that doesn't feel right to you and you feel out of balance, well, guess what? You're probably out of balance. So, and usually you see guys that are a little bit more bent over, their swing has to be more vertical. And their shoulders, it requires a little bit more shoulder turn where that shoulder works down and they're a little bit on a higher plane. They're going to have to find a way to get the club back on that plane right there. And they went more vertical. And that could be an issue for a lot of guys. You're probably going to have a little bit steeper golf swing and have to swing more to the left if you do that. It works though. There's guys that do that and hit the ball great. But just keep in mind your balance. I think that's important. Also, I just noticed from being a little bit taller to the ball, I can just put the club down and it works every time. Okay, I can just do that and I'm there. I'm nice and balanced. My legs are not locked like that. I have a little bend in my legs. I'm athletic. My weight distribution in my feet, they're actually, initially I feel it more on the inside part of my foot, actually. And we always heard JH from Atomic Golf talk about augering down into the ground. If you do this, you're going to be in a more rotary type motion by by augering down into the ground. And with channel lock, that weight will go right back here towards that back foot. You're just right out in front of it. If you notice, when you do that, your weight doesn't get that away over this trail hip. And that's one of the huge benefits of channel lock. And using that type of posture and that type of setup in your swing, you can just auger right down into the ground. That weight goes right there. I can look down in between this triangle that I create, this Y. I can see my thigh right there. I can see my knee. And it goes right there. You'll never see me. You can watch any swings. I'm never outside of this hip over here. A more linear side to side, you're gonna swing it, and that automatically I feel like I'm getting out over that hip. And you're gonna be out of balance if you do that. So that motion right there with the pelvis, sternum, all that just augers right down in the ground. I'm right there. The golf swing happens back here, guys. All the magic happens on this side. Now, some people say, well, if you get width in your arms this way, you're out of balance. Well, if you're going side to side like this, yes, you're going to be out of balance. But if you auger down into the ground, I have a counterbalance with my weight. My weight is right here. It's stacked where it needs to be. And I have width in my golf swing, and I can work. I have plenty of room to work from the inside to hit the golf ball. And so that's just a few things to talk about. In the future, I plan on going in a little bit more in depth about this. I just have time constraints right now where I can't get into a lot of this, but I think when it comes to golf instruction, it's not a good idea to give people every piece of the information. I think to really develop a good golf swing, you have to put the time in yourself, and you have to discover these things. And the more you do that, the more time you put into it, the more time you discover these things, you're going to be better for that. And you're going to learn a lot of things along the way that someone can't just tell you from instruction. Okay, you have to have self-discovery in the golf swing. I really believe that. And so that's why I don't give every single piece of information. There's a lot of things I've never discussed about channel lock, and I plan on sharing some of that stuff along the way, but it would be nice if somebody else discovers that, and whatever they discover, bring that to my attention, bring that to Steve's attention, bring that to John Hensby's attention on Atomic Golf. Just putting this information out there and people doing it on their own time and experimenting with it, they're going to discover things that we may not have discovered yet. And that's one of the things that I really respect about John Hensby, is he's had a major influence over my golf swing, but he has never told me what to do with channel lock, not one single time. He has never told me that I can't do this or I can't do that. In fact, he's only encouraged me to explore it and discover all the things I can discover about it. And that's exactly what I've done, and I'm so glad that I've done that, because I would not be in the situation I'm in right now. So I want to thank him for that. I want to thank Steve for letting me post some of these videos on his channel. I really don't have time to do that myself. And he's been a great friend in the process, and it's good to have great friends like that encourage you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we'll catch you next time.